Okay guys, for this vlog I will be discussing chapter 22. Basically it is about on or off the record, discussing basically in a situation, should you put it on the record or is it something that's worthy to be left off? Like, is it something, you know, that's bad or different things like that. So it basically analyzes a situation about a late professor and angry students. And as a college student, I can attest to this because when we sit in class for over 30 minutes or so waiting on a professor to come, it's really annoying because then you have other teachers on the other hand that when you go to class, you know, you're only in there for a small period of time and then they let you leave. And it's kind of like professors want us to respect their time. I feel like professors should always respect our time. And the fact that we pay for college, we pay for our own classes, so I feel like professors and students, you know, should respect each other's time because that's really how it goes. We're there for one another. So basically this chapter goes on to talk about how our professor basically said some things out of line after the fact that he was late to his class to teach his students and everything. So the students got angry and they all started, you know, leaving comments and stuff because we are allowed to do you know, feedback at the end of courses and different things like that. So students left all types of angry comments and about how they didn't like this professor and different things like that. So the professor definitely decided to, you know, rebuttal and bite back on the situation. So the chapter goes on to talk about how the professor, you know, went back on his word and, you know, basically just made the situation worse than it had to be. So then after the professor made the situation worse, then he had to weigh and choose, you know, weigh the options and choose what he really wanted to do, because sometimes, like I say, situations aren't always worth it. And the professor didn't necessarily have to react this way. He could have left things how they were and left the situation at that and been the bigger person in the situation, really. The chapter, you know, just keeps going on about choosing the right option and different things like that. And then towards the end, the aftermath, it was the institutional and individual impact. So like I said, I felt like institutional impact is like when professors are late to class and then we pay for them to teach us, in a sense. And the individual impact is some students might not necessarily care that the professor was late, because at the end of the day, since he was late, that was less class time. That was less time they had to sit there and listen to the teacher teaching different things like that. So overall, this chapter really wasn't that, you know, deep. It wasn't that much to grasp from it. You know, it's just whether to choosing your words correctly, because everything goes, you know, on record in a sense, and trying to keep things off the record is not a good way to go about it, because what's done in the dark comes to light. So overall, this chapter, you know, was pretty straightforward. And yeah.